the surest way to get people to continue to react to you is to present imagery like this. Hello everyone, it's Micah. Welcome to our Thursday reaction series where we're going through and reacting to all the most recent number one singles. Unfortunately or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, we have not had a number one single what year is this again? It's the 21st century now, isn't it? I was about to say 19. We haven't had a number one single in 2024 yet. That is a new number one single that has never been on top of the charts before. We started off the year with Brenda Lee, who made it back to number one for the last week of the holiday season after having visited earlier in the holiday season. Then and for the past couple of weeks, we've had Jack Harlow at number one, who was at number one before the holiday onslaught. And so we've been able to use every week of 2024 so far to reach back and into 2023 and listen to and react to those number one songs from last year. And we're making pretty good progress. We are all the way back to, what week is this? This was back in September when this song first hit number one. It's spent a total of 3 weeks non-consecutively at number one, and it's come back into the top 10 now that the holiday hits have disappeared from the charts. This is Doja Cat with "Paint the Town Red." I have to be honest. I'm scared, y'all. I'm scared because I read the descriptions of this video and I kind of don't want to watch it. Like, I'm not into horror movie stuff. I'm not into stuff that's scary or visceral or visually distressing. It's just not my cup of tea. So I kind of don't want to watch. I've seen pieces of the video, but I have not, no pun intended, but I have not seen the whole thing, and I just don't remember it being as gruesome as the description I read when I was doing research for this. So if you see me cover my eyes, peek between my eyes, that'll be the reason for that. I am familiar with the song. I think it's I've not listened to it really, really closely, but I do know that I like the song. I'm not a fan of Doja Cat's public presentation and some of the things that she's done, but there's no denying how talented she is, and I do enjoy the flow on this song, and I think well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's just actually watch the video or half watch the video and listen to the song again, and I'll give you my input as I go along. Let's watch it. Paint the Town Red. This is such a captivating watch for so many reasons that I almost didn't want to stop. First off, the production on this is ridiculous. It's so good. The production is the sample, the Dionne Warwick sample is understated yet very prominent, and you know exactly what it is if you know the song. And it's also, I also like when the samples aren't just earworms to help you digest the rest of the song, but they're also cogent to the lyrical lyrical content. And in this case, "Walk On By" does seem like an apt dismissal based on the other lyrical content of the song, because the underlying theme and with the sample, the undercurrent that's going through the arrangement is, if you don't like me, get on, go ahead, go on, and let me do my thing. And that really is the attitude of the whole of all the posturing that Doja Cat does in this video. All of the provocative stuff, yeah, I think I heard some backlash for the imagery in this video, not nearly as much as Lil Nas X got. And it also is worth noting that it does seem like she's going to that same well of using overt satanic imagery in the video, where someone else had already done that relatively recently. But it's provocative. I think it's and it's provocative in a lot of the same ways that a lot of the heavy metal was in the 80s, where there's not, and this may sound a bit apologist on my part, but I think using imagery and putting it out there is different from endorsing something. So whereas a lot of people would probably have a very visceral reaction to this and say, oh, I think it certainly goes along with a lyric where she says, oh, she the devil. It's tongue in cheek. It's her saying, oh, I'm such a scary person. Look at me. And the jury's still out on on whether, not whether she's the devil. I think that's clearly tongue-in-cheek, and I wouldn't go that far with it. But Doja Cat has done some things which, I don't want to get in the way of reacting to the video by talking about how I feel about Doja Cat and the ways that she's treated her fans and the way that she's reacted to different things via social media and so forth. But I will say that the surest way to get people to continue to react to you is to present imagery like this. I'm not, and as much as I don't like seeing, like I said, graphic imagery, I am taking it with a grain of salt. And I think it's a way of sort of setting everyone straight and saying, watch me do this really extreme thing, and I dare you to say anything else about it because I said what I said, as she says. Let's get back. Okay, so I don't think there's anything else to say. The song, well, I will say more, but the song is pretty self-contained. You take any 40-second snippet of the song, and it says basically the same thing over and over again that any other 40-second snippet of the song says, which is, everybody take care, mind your own business, and let me be who I am and let me carry on with my business my way. And so, message received. But I do find the premise of the video intriguing, and I'm not sure that I 100% get it. But the fact that the video begins and ends with this character or this persona that she inhabits, because I assume that's her behind all that black makeup and so forth, where she takes her eyeball out at the beginning and puts it in the glass of water and then at the end takes it back. Is that some sort of metaphor? Is the entire video basically what this character sees, a visualization of what the character sees, or a vision that the character has with that eye once it's submerged? And does that point to, is that some sort of a metaphor for immersing yourself in the media, or social media, or your own set of preconceptions and delusions, and seeing everything through that lens? And so is everything, including the satanic imagery, just what someone's perception is when they're immersed in this glass of water, or what have you? Or, am I misreading that? But it is the bookend to the video, and it does almost have the feel of making it seem like a dream sequence or a fantasy sequence, as opposed to it's presumably being real life, and Doja Cat is saying in real life, I cavort with death and Satan and all these other things. So that's my read on it. And I wonder if Paint the Town Red is what that means in the context of this video. It inherently brings up an association with Satan, whose color, for whatever reason, has always been red. And so is that what she means, or is she using the colloquial meaning of the expression, which just means to go out and do your thing and take no prisoners and have a really good time and not really even think about the consequences, because it's about you and you having a good time and reveling and enjoying yourself. So those are some of my questions. The song itself and the vocal phrasing that she uses, immaculate. I'm really impressed with all of that, all those components of the song. I think this will go down as a classic hip hop track, if for no other reason than the judicious and effective use of the Dionne Warwick sample, and the very focused nature of the lyrics. Despite any personal quibbles I may have with Miss Doja Cat, the song is pretty on point. All right, well, we're going to see what happens with the charts next week. I may have a new number one to react to, or we'll just have to keep digging back into 2023, and I'm happy to do that and see how many of the current singles from 2023 that went number one we can react to in the shortest amount of time. I'm excited to see where the chart goes next week, and if we have a new number one, we'll be reacting to that. Until then, please be sure to like this video if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel if you feel so inclined, and please help me to make music better.